I want to switch quickly to governors because we have something here, a result in the state of Pennsylvania where the Democrat Tom Wolf has defeated the incumbent Republican Tom Corbett. And this is one of the things we were talking about earlier in the night, Matthew Dowd, this idea that this anti-incumbent feeling could blow back against some Republicans.
Yeah, I think we're going to see throughout the night as we see these races, Mitch McConnell wins and other Democrats win, and then in this race a Democrat takes this, is we're going to see a mixed result but a very clear message. And so we'll see Democrats win governor's races, Republican win some Senate races. We'll see what happens in the House. But I think as you look at everything, the message is clear. The country is not in favor of incumbents right now, whether it's a senator or a governor, and they're not in favor of either political party right now. They're looking for something else. They're actually looking for leaders they think get the job done.
You know, and that brings to the issue of business people. Now, Tom Wolf, the Democrat here, a successful business person, spent $50 million in this campaign. But Nicole Wallace, let me bring you in on this. One of the things we're seeing Democrats do against Republicans, Republican businessmen running for office, most especially Michelle Nunn running against David Perdue in Georgia, is making their business record. They're putting that on the ballot as well. She talked about him outsourcing jobs.
Which is funny because I think polls show that in a non-specific context, people want politicians who know how to run things, who want to know how to run businesses. And you were talking about the competence question with Martha and John Carl earlier. And this underpins, I think, a lot of the discontent and the dissatisfaction with Washington and with the Democratic Party. There's a feeling that not only do they do things that I don't agree with, but that they don't execute with any competence. So to me, some of this is in the way that campaigns are run, and some of these guys didn't do as good of a job defending their business record. I think the minute you let the Democrat put you on the defensive, it becomes a liability instead of an asset, and I think that's what happened with Perdue.
David?
Yeah, no. Well, I think, but Wolf, runs a family business, treats his workers well. There's a difference. I think voters don't just say, oh, you're successful in business. They say, is that someone who's going to treat people like me well? And this, Mitt Romney got on the wrong side of that question.
But let's actually show. He ran an ad based on that. Let's show it.
It's closed down. It was pretty much devastating. I don't think David Perdue understands what happens to the people. They were running as fast as they could with as much money as they could get out of the company, and just pretty much left us there hanging.
David Perdue looks out for himself.
All we were.
This is actually the David Perdue we were just talking about in Georgia. And Bill Kristol, let me bring you in on this because this is something we saw in the 2012 campaign against Mitt Romney, and you've been warning for a while now that this is something Republicans have to be careful about.
Look, I think David is absolutely right in this. You can be a wealthy businessman and people don't hold it against you, and maybe there are some ads attack you for outsourcing. You can overcome that if you have a positive economic message going forward that explains how you're going to help the middle and working class. If you have an economic growth message, if you have an actual sort of populist economic message. If you don't, then you're just playing defense, and then you're the rich guy who is paying a 14% income tax. That was the moment in the campaign, the Romney moment, I think, which shows how vulnerable you can be. You're paying, 12, 14% on your income taxes. And instead of saying, I am, because that's the law, but you know what? That's President Obama's the president. The Democrats control the Senate. When I'm president, we're going to change the tax law, and I'm happy to pay more if we can get more economic growth and so forth. Instead, he just said, well, I did what the law required me to do. I didn't do anything wrong. So the key is the message going forward. I don't think being a wealthy businessman disqualifies you.
And Tom Foley running for governor in Connecticut will be another race for us to watch tonight to test all of our theories, because he
didn't pay any income tax, a very low percent, right?
He lives in Connecticut, come on, but that was a joke. I live in Connecticut. I love it. We have a Democratic governor. We pay taxes, lots of them. But I think that we watch how individualized this is, and I think Republicans especially need to pay close attention. I can't think of a Democrat who had this used against them. But I think watching these races and taking the right lessons from them is important for, I think business leaders can make great candidates if they do what Bill just suggested. They can make terrible candidates if they don't defend their record.